Thank you very much, Dirk. I have some questions to you. There are two major approaches for decarbonization in 2050. One is green energy supply, decarbonized energy supply, and another is the improvement of efficiency, such as in buildings.
Yes.
I'd like to know about your opinion on what kind of technology will be very important when we improve energy efficiency of buildings. I know that Germany is very famous of its very tight regulation for building envelope. But is there any technological issues other than building envelope in Germany for improving the building energy efficiency of building? Do you have any information?
Well, there's one discussion, one topic more and more coming up during the last years, perhaps nowadays, about how to renovate and how to rebuild existing buildings with a more industrialized idea, to have some solutions to renovate buildings with a more industrial way, to have pre-produced elements, to use this in the large cities where we have large areas for living standards, and to speed up and to have standardized elements and programs from the industry level. So this is a topic that's coming up in Germany, but I know it's also in other countries in Europe, perhaps in other areas in the world to try this. So this could be a solution to be faster and perhaps to have perhaps a little bit cheaper solutions in renovation of buildings. The other part I see is looking again on the way how we are heating our buildings. There's a discussion that we go in general in the lower temperature in the cooling and heating system, and to use more district heating to have a better energy efficiency in the whole system, not to waste that much energy from power production or heating energy from the industry, not to waste it, but to use it to some part in the building system. Perhaps these are two first ideas, but much more has to be discussed during the day.
Thank you. Another question is about imported green hydrogen you mentioned. You mentioned about the usage of utilization of green hydrogen for mobilization vehicles, but how about the utilization in buildings? Do you have any idea or strategy for utilization of green hydrogen in buildings? What kind of strategy do you have for buildings?
At the moment, it's starting the discussion about how to use hydrogen, especially green hydrogen. And we also have to say there's a debate of where to get this green hydrogen. Shall we focus on the production green hydrogen in Germany, or should we focus on low-cost areas worldwide to buy and to import green hydrogen, as we do it with fossil fuels, for example? That's perhaps the first important thing, that we are always depending on imports for energy, Germany as a nation. Then the next step in the so-called hydrogen strategy we have is to build up and to test production capacities, and mainly in the first step to focus on use cases where hydrogen can be used in the industry. That's one of the first discussions we had during the last 2, 3, 4 years. There's still a debate when and whenever we should use green hydrogen in the mobility and or in the housing sector. I'm not in a strong position there, because at the end I think we do not know how it will be 2030, 2040. So there will be use cases. I'm quite sure there will be use cases to test how we can use green hydrogen, for example, in district heating areas. Why not? Then we have perhaps a co-production of green power and green heating in local and rural areas. So there could be one interesting discussion on and the use cases. But also there are special areas in mobility, heavy transport systems where we need green hydrogen on the long run, perhaps, because we're not talking about electrification of all the long distance heavy transport system. So I'm quite sure that there will be use cases there. at the end, it's still open how much to what kind of degree we're using green hydrogen in the housing sector.
Thank you very much, Dirk.